Mary Melanie Genevieve Cruikshank Saunders of Tempe St. George, former matron of the Princess Alice Hospital and the General Hospital, passed away on Sunday, August 8, 2021, at the age of 86. She was the mother of Jackie and Timothy Cruikshank in the United Kingdom, grandmother of Jasmine and Isaac in the UK, stepmother of Maureen, George, Shirley, Andrea and Jason in the United Kingdom, sister of Fabian Monroe and Padmo Wilfred Jones and Stanley Monroe in Canada, sister-in-law of Gillian Monroe, Gloria Jones, Monica Monroe in Canada, Norma Jones and Ellen Jones in the UK, godmother of Denise and Lloyd Henry in the United Kingdom, special friend of Geoffrey Foxy Cyrus and family, and Thelma Henry in Barbados. Other relatives and friends including Nelsia LeBird and family in Canada, Marius Gibbs and family in England, Mr. Mitchell, Lorna Jones in the USA, Phineas Monroe in Canada, Dexter Julian, Eva Snowell and family, Margaret Granger and family, and friends and neighbours of Tempe and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Mary Melanie Genevieve Cruikshank Saunders of Tempe St. George will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Alfred Julian Weeks, also known as Shaggy, of Springs, who resided at Grand Mall St. George, passed away on Friday, August 20th, 2021, at the age of 52. He was the son of Alfred Romaine, father of Alfred in Grenada, Dario in Barbados, and his daughter in England, brother of Dratty, Lieber and Charmaine in Barbados. Many relatives and friends including Gracelyn Regis and the Regis family of Grand Mall, the Weeks family of Springs, Petrina Worm, the Romaine family of St. George, Maureen Samuel of Brazan, Rohan Bailey, Jade Victor, Roland George, Winston, Dawn de Ravenair, Mr. Tony, Rosalind George, the Domino Men under the tree, and friends and neighbours of Grand Mall St. George. The funeral of the late Alfred Julian Weeks, also known as Shaggy, of Springs, who resided at Grand Mall St. George, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Helena Jane Francis, also known as Nordica, of Munich St. Andrew, who resided in the United Kingdom and at Westerhall St. David, passed away on Tuesday, 17th August 2021, at the age of 72. She was the wife of Archibald Paul Francis, also known as Zephyrin Francis, sister of Dora, Mona and Hermelin in Grenada, and Lucy in the USA, sister-in-law of Kenneth, Stephen, and Lebon. Many nieces and nephews in Grenada, the United Kingdom, and the USA. Caregivers Rolda George, Emmeline and Tamika Joseph, Gillian, Teresa Moses, and Tony. Many other relatives and friends including Septimus Lord, Clement John, Anne David Antwine and Michael Antwine, Marlene Neptune and family, the Guillaume family of Munich, members of the Get Together Club, and friends and neighbours of Westerhall St. David. The funeral of the late Helena Jane Francis of Munich, who resided in the United Kingdom and at Westerhall St. David, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Daphne Catherine Anastasia Phillip of Lowtown Satay St. Patrick, who resided at Park Lane, River Road, Darbo, and at the Charles Memorial Home, died on Wednesday, 18th August 2021, at the age of 95. Left to mourn her children Cyril St. Louis, Cicely Phillip, Cecil Phillip, Sharon Phillip, and Karine Phillip. Sister Philippa. Many nieces and nephews too numerous to mention. Daughter-in-law Marian Maureen Cyrus St. Louis. Many grands and great-grands including Wendell St. Louis, Cyrene St. Louis, Kent Phillip, Abby Phillip Moraine, Jamilia, Celine, and Keisha Alexander. Other relatives and friends including the Phillip family of River Road, St. John, St. Mark, and St. Patrick, and surrounding areas, and the management and staff of the Charles Memorial Home. The funeral service for the late Daphne Catherine Anastasia Phillip of Lowtown, Satire St. Patrick, who resided at Park Lane, River Road, Darbo and at the Charles Memorial Home, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Curtis David Mills, also known as Banton and Riddle Master, of Bel Air, Carriacou, passed away on Tuesday, 17th August 2021, at the age of 53. He was the brother of Hilary Richards in Grenada, Mary Hazard in the USA, Serena John, Patrick, Franklin, Rena and Lisa Mills in Carriacou, uncle of Denzel, Zarika and Eliza in Carriacou, Zian, Drizel and Danica in the US, Janelle, Jamaica and Melissa in Grenada. Nephew of George, Cynthia, also known as Yusolina Mills, and Melina Bedeau in the UK, and Albert Mills, also known as Berbert in Carriacou. Brother-in-law of Daniel Richards in Grenada, Clint John in Carriacou, and Ryan Hazard in the US. Close friend of Jennifer Lagarde, Lorian, Bassie, the Honorable Kindra Mathurin Stewart, Dan Juma, Anthony, Stanley Moraine, Roll Patterson, Mrs. Alcina Jackson, and Mystery. Caregivers Shanaika Oliver and Dandrin Joseph. Other relatives and friends including the Mills and Lawrence families, the Thomas, Patterson, Cato, and Jerome families, Gloria Bubban family, Rita Quashi, Reginald, also known as Ras Regs, George Ashton, and neighbors of Bel Air and surrounding areas too numerous to mention. The funeral service for the late Curtis David Mills, also known as Banton and Riddle Master of Bel Air, Carriacou, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes. Magdalene Velma Maudlin Phillip of Mountrich St. Patrick passed away on Monday, August 2nd, 2021, at the age of 74. She was the mother of Glenford, also known as Shawa, and Dorian in Grenada, Debbie and Jennifer in Canada, and Keith in the USA. Grandmother of 13, including Tanisha, Kirtley, Mitzi, Glenn, Rashad, Jaron, Keen, and others in the USA and Canada. Great-grandmother of Bradley. Stepmother of Elvis, Laverne, Elvin, and Garvin. Sister of Rosalind, Ganita Williams, and Godwin Gabby Phillip. Mother-in-law of Gerard Cudjoe, Steve Castle, and Cindy Wickham. Sister-in-law of Reverend Lydimus Williams, Hazelina Joseph Phillip, and Jane Bernard. Aunt of many, including Nesta, Gladlyn, Denny, Sherman, Emmeline, Elma, Lindonna, and Darnell. Many cousins, other relatives, and close friends, including Victor and Yvonne Batiste, Donald Benjamin, Joan, Mona, Telma, Ezra, Rolda, Dorian Edwards and family, the Phillip family of Mountrich and Snellhall, the Julian family of La Fortune, the pastor and members of the Montfendu New Testament Plain Truth Worship Center, and friends and neighbors of Mountrich and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Magdalene Velma Maudlin Phillip of Mountrich St. Patrick will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes.
Septimus George Solomon, also known as Rennie Allard of Monthorn, resided in Grandsboro, St. Andrew, passed away on Friday, 27th August, at the age of 70. He was the husband of Sophia Smith Solomon, father of Maryland, Canada, Rhonda Solomon Cador, Ron and Roxanne in Grenada, brother of Fred, Aldora, Aladdin, Andrew in the USA, Godwin and Yvette, grandfather of Ryan, Rayvon, Jasmine, Jazara, Ron Jr., Rohan, Ronald and Zamarian, brother-in-law of Winston Smith in Canada, Cynthia and Elsa. Many nieces and nephews including Nurse Nicole Joseph, David Allard, Gloria Richardson, Ricky in Canada, Ezron and Nicolette, father-in-law of Anthony Cador, and Alberta Stephen. Caregivers Miss Sin Bernard, Collins Morris, the staff of Care Transition Clinic, the staff of the St. Martin's Home. Other relatives and friends including Lucy Ann Peters, Bridget Burke, Claudius George, Victor Daniel, friends at the Grenville Fish Market, loved ones and neighbors of Monthorn and Granborough St. Andrew. The funeral service and interment of the late Septimus George Solomon, also known as Rennie Allard, of Granborough St. Andrew, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Margaret Joseph Moses Boswin of Mount Royal, Carriacou, resided in the United Kingdom and Lurson, Carriacou, passed away on Wednesday, 25th August, at the age of 91. She was the mother of Linda, Elizabeth, also known as Alice, Roswell, also known as Altinus, John, Alston, Sybil, Lorna, and Michael, grandmother of 16, great-grandmother of 25, great-great-grandmother of 6, aunt of many including Anne Rose, Kathleen, Marvin, Esther, and Phyllis, mother-in-law of Kathleen Moses, also known as Margaret, sister-in-law of Elizabeth Caesar, also known as Mayon, caregivers Deborah, Shauna, and Melcita, close friend of Mr. and Mrs. Thomas and Manasseh of Mount Royal, Sylvia, Monica, Miss Anne, Frederick, also known as Turtle of Leicester, Mr. Cummins of Brunswick, Omega, Rosalind, Florence, Quetta, and Ray in the UK. Other relatives and friends including Joseph, Moses, Boswin and Ray families in Carriacou, Cletus, Mr. McLean, Ross, Monica, and Marilyn, Dr. Davis and doctors and nurses at Princess Royal Hospital, neighbors of NIS Hill, Lurston, too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Margaret Joseph Moses Boswin of Mount Royal, Carriacou, who resided in the United Kingdom and Lurston, Carriacou, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lockwar Brothers Funeral Home. Lincoln W. Ross, BEM, former managing director of Ross & Sons Engineering and the Grenada Spice Mills of Calivini and Logan Road, St. George, who resided in Wester Hall, St. David, passed away on Monday, 23rd August, at the age of 90. He was the devoted husband of Zandra Ross, father of Warren Ross, Zara Ross Viner, Amanda Ross, Richard Ross, Deandra Ross Batiste, Merlin Ross Haji, Valda Lalcy, and Sean Bobbin Grenada, Maureen, Evelyn, Lynette, and Franca in the USA, Carlisle, Joan, Gillian, Andrew, Eric, and Leslie in Canada, and Sherian in Trinidad. Grandfather of many including Isla, Zelaine, Lena, Keegan, Charnel, Shantae, Josh, Tariq, and Jaden. Great-grandfather of many. Father-in-law of many including Neru, and Tia, Roy, and Kenton. Brother of Alberta and Vernice. Brother-in-law of Margaret Smith and Louis Alphonse, Michael, Alwyn, and Lulin Alphonse. Many nieces and cousins including Lawrence, Pearl, and Helen. Other close relatives and friends including the Grappi, Ross, and McDonald families. Dr. Alejandro Megan, Honorable Dr. Kit Mitchell, staff of Ross & Sons and the Spice Mills, the Grenada Business Fraternity, the Methodist Circuit of Grenada, and the St. George's Congregation, friends and neighbors of Calivini, Logan Road, and Wester Hall. The funeral of the late Lincoln W. Ross, BEM, of Calivini and Logan Road, St. George, who resided in Wester Hall, St. David, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lockwar Brothers Funeral Home. Leron Caliste, also known as Lero of Crowshoe, St. Andrew, passed away on Sunday, 5th September, at the age of 42. The funeral of the late Leron Caliste of Crowshoe, St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lockwar Brothers Funeral Home. Sarah Mark of Montcraven, St. Patrick, passed away on Monday, 6th September, at the age of 10. The funeral arrangements of the late Sarah Mark of Montcraven, St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Angeline George of Caliste, St. George, who resided in the USA, passed away on Tuesday, 17th August 2021, at the age of 61. The funeral arrangements for the late Angeline George of Caliste, St. George, who resided in the USA, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Alice Angelina Francis, also known as Alice John and Connor, of Mongeloo, Carriacou, who resided at Brunswick, passed away on Wednesday, 25th August 2021, at the age of 100. The funeral arrangements for the late Alice Angelina Francis, also known as Alice John and Connor, of Mongeloo, Carriacou, who resided at Brunswick, Carriacou, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Berna Brown of River Road, St. George, passed away on Thursday, September 2nd, 2021, at the age of 78. The funeral arrangements for the late Berna Brown of River Road, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Ricky Fabian Superville, also known as Hard Rock, of New Hampshire, St. George, died at his home on Sunday, 22nd August 2021, at the age of 57. The funeral arrangements for the late Ricky Fabian Superville, also known as Hard Rock of New Hampshire, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Jean Joseph of Beaulieu, St. George, passed away on Saturday, 21st August 2021 in Canada, at the age of 72. The funeral arrangements for the late Jean Joseph of Beaulieu, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Doreen Holder, née Bowler of Marion, St. George, died on August 28, 2021, at the age of 81. The funeral arrangements for the late Doreen Holder, née Bowler of Marion, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Cynthia Evelyn Budlal of Grenville Street, who resided at Monkparnassus, St. George, retired senior public officer and former permanent secretary of the Ministry of Health, passed away on Monday, August 30th, 2021, at the age of 78. The funeral arrangements for the late Cynthia Evelyn Budlal of Grenville Street, who resided at Monkparnassus, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes.
Catherine Gale, also known as Cantin of Harford Village, St. Andrew, passed away on Saturday, 28 August, at the age of 94. The funeral service of the late Catherine Gale, also known as Cantin of Harford Village, St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Ali Alexander of Spring, St. George, passed away on August 27th at the age of 23. The funeral arrangements of the late Ali Alexander will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Phyllis Paul of Laton St. David passed away on Friday, August 20th, 2021, at the age of 87. The funeral arrangements for the late Phyllis Paul of Laton St. David will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Nathaniel Glassford Corion of Bellevue, South Carriacou, passed away on Thursday, August 5th, 2021, at the age of 76. The funeral arrangements for the late Nathaniel Glassford Corion of Bellevue, South Carriacou, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes.
Wendell Jonathan Caliste, also known as Crop, of River Road, St. George, passed away on Monday, 23rd August, at the age of 57. The funeral service of the late Wendell Jonathan Caliste, also known as Crop of River Road, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Mary Alexis of Munich, St. Andrew, who resided in Harmony Hall, St. David, passed away on Sunday, 22nd August, at the age of 83. The funeral arrangements of the late Mary Alexis will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Gabrielle Siobhan St. John of Bonaire St. Mark died on Sunday, 15th August 2021 at the age of 28. The funeral arrangements for the late Gabrielle Siobhan St. John of Bonaire St. Mark will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Anne Frame, also known as Nello, of Prospect, who resided in England and at Chantymel St. Patrick, passed away on Thursday, 29th July 2021 at the age of 87. The funeral arrangements for the late Anne Frame, also known as Nello, of Prospect, who resided in England and at Chantymel St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thanks for watching.
The Bible, this book, familiar to every person on the face of the earth today, gives us directions for our life. When death comes, there is great sorrow to the family and friends and loved ones of the one that has passed on. But if we put our trust in the Lord Jesus Christ and we follow the instructions of this book, we know we will meet again. We don't take it lightly. We don't take it for granted. There must be a decision, because without a decision, the decision is made to be separated from God. So put your trust in the Lord. Believe. The thief on the cross said, Lord, consider me. And Jesus said, today you would be with me, this very hour. And they died together. So put your trust in the Lord, and God bless you during your time of grief and bereavement. Put your trust in the Lord.